Right, just gonna go for it. Okay, I think I am live. I hope so. My preview is saying that the countdown is still happening, so hopefully I'm live. Oh, I haven't set up chat. Whoops. Better do that quickly now on the fly. You guys get to see how I do this in real time. Let's see. Inspect elements. Hello, hello. I hope you guys can all hear me. I don't know if the preview's not working, so I hope hopefully the stream is working. Hello, hello. Okay, I'm going to assume that that means people are here. Hello, yes. Sorry for the kind of late impromptu stream today. Sid, come on. Yeah, sorry for kind of the later, more impromptu stream today, guys. I have been busy. Quite busy, actually. I've had a very busy week. Oh my god, I've had so much to do. I wasn't even sure if I was going to get to stream today because I've had to do so many different things, but I've managed to find some time for it. Been a while. Ilya and Sin both making the same joke. You forgot, didn't you? No, so I had a couple of things going. I had a lot of things going on this week that I needed to sort out anyway. Then this weekend I had things like, you know, a session 0 that I was doing for a tabletop game, which some people in the chat will know about. And then I've got to finish making like this video that I'm doing for like an online convention for a fandom that I was a part of a very long time ago. So yes, I've been very, very busy, but I wanted to quickly squeeze in this Deity Build stream because I've run out, as you guys know. So yeah, I thought it might be fun. Tuning in from the back garden, nice. Nice little bit of relaxation. So yeah, basically, long story short, I didn't realise I'd run out of deity builds because I thought I had one more, but it turns out Tyr was the last one. Hi Vlad, good to have you here. So basically the only ones that are left now are the ones that aren't selectable by Cleric, so we actually have a bit more freedom this time. Yeah, we have. So as usual, I've put everything that you need to know in the description of the stream. So all the deities that we have covered up till now are the the selectable deities, and I believe also Loviatar and Umberlee on top of that already. So we should just be able to, we should be able to knock at least a few of these out. So the remaining ones are Bane, Bhaal, Cyric, Gond, Jergal, Kereska, Myrkul. I'm not doing Shar because she's basically going to have been covered on the channel already in multiple ways, including on like another Shar build that's going to be coming up on the channel. So I'm not going to worry about that too much just yet. So I'm not worried about Shar for this one, and then Silvanus I think is the last one. Yeah. So we've not got many left. Not many left at all. Hello, Zim. Hello, Mine. Hello, Luis. How am I today? I'm doing pretty good. Like I said, I've been very, very busy, but I am trying to fit everything in. Hey, Hobo, I've been brainstorming. Hi, Phantom, by the way. I've been brainstorming a champion of Iridia build. She's the daughter of Diane and Lucifer. Okay, interesting. You have to let me know more about that. Yeah, hello everyone, just going to scroll through the chat. Yeah, Soy's here, David's here, Mike's here. Hello everyone, it's really nice to have you all here. So, let's get into it. I think I've got everything set up. Yeah, I know, I've got to... I will try and do some more God of War themed builds soon, maybe. But let's get this Deity Build shenanigans out of the way first. So, what we'll do is we'll do a straw poll, like we always do. If I could spell, and we'll get started on that. Yeah, because this is going to be a slightly shorter stream. I think I'm going to go for 2 to 2.5 hours today. Just because I still have a lot to do today. And I've just got a very busy day, so I can fit this in, but I am going to have to make it a slightly shorter stream. So hopefully we can knock out quite a few today. Bane, Bhaal. Let's see, what else? Who do we have here? Cyric. Yep, that would be the next one. Thanks, no problem. Gond, and Jergal. Yep, those two are next. Gond, Jergal. Kereska, which will be interesting. I didn't realize she was like a dragon deity. That could be quite fun. Loviatar we've done. Myrkul, and then Silvanus. Okay. Myrkul, and Silvanus. So, yeah, these are the final ones remaining. Let's create that poll. And I'll share it with you guys. Kereska, yeah, she's got something to do with dragons, at least. That's where, like, the different elements come from. But yeah, it's pinned in the chat, so you guys can now vote. Let's have a look. Dark Urge Spider runs soon. Yeah, that could be fun. Right, Jergal immediately climbing up the ranks to top, with Cyric, Kereska, and Myrkul following shortly after. Myrkul catching up as well. So yeah, we're going to be able to do builds for the Dead 3, you know, and some of the other, like, non-selectable deities. But a Raven Queen build? Maybe someday. Once I've, again, I want to kind of get my current, like, running series, like, kind of out of the way. So, like, the single-class party builds and the deity builds, I want to get those done. And since I'm kind of on a like a what-if build thing at the moment, I kind of want to do a few more of those. But then once those kinds of long-running series are done, I think I'm going to go back to pretty much just doing build requests again. So you guys will be able to have a lot more input kind of after that. Joaquin? Have I missed a deity? Joaquin? Or am I about to be the subject of a D's nuts joke? Because some people are saying Joaquin, but they're not on this list. And I can use mods. Yes. Soon I'm going to be able to use mods as well, which is going to be very good. Hi Kirk. Long time no see. Jergal Deity Build should be a Withers fanboy. Yeah. Joaquin's Rest. That's named after a deity. Okay, but it's not on this list, so... What about a D&D party build based on the old cartoon? Maybe. I'll have to actually watch it. We have Joaquin's Rest in the games. Okay, maybe I'll... Is a Forgotten Realms deity? I'll have a look at that later. Hello. Hi, Seeker. Good to have you here. Right, let's check back on the poll. That is a very colourful wheel. So we have Jergal at the top, followed by Myrkul, Bhaal, Cyric, Gond, and Kereska. So it looks like we're going to be doing Jergal first. Which works for me. I'm quite happy to do Jergal first. So, let's do that. Right, so, first up is Jergal. Let's make sure I'm 100% clear on this dude's whole thing. So let's read this first. The final scribe, formerly Lord of Bones, Judge of the Damned, lawful neutral, associated with death and knowledge. Well, okay. The original god of death, before he willingly ceded his position to the Dead 3, who observed some of his portfolios. After stepping down, he became that word of first Myrkul, then Cyric, after Myrkul perished during the times of troubles. Okay, and eventually Kalemvor, caring for little besides an orderly accounting of the fate of the world. Jergal became known as the final scribe, who kept records of the ultimate fate of all dead, and it's implied that Withers is Jergal, and that he's being implored by Helm to aid the party against the Absolute. Okay, well, it just says it right there in black and white, doesn't it? Doom scribe, or like that. I join and I see Jergal, I could not be happier. Yeah, looks like we're going to be doing that. Nobody cared who I was until I became a god. Nice. It's not on the list, but Joaquin is the god of trade and has a really cool concept with devil dealings and being a god of trade with some Zen connections. Okay, maybe I will consider them a bit more wholeheartedly then. Okay, let's have a look at the actual deity itself on the Forgotten Realms page. So I'll get some bit more information. Jergal, there we go. Jergal's mind probe. Okay, bloody hell. You know, I don't know what I was expecting. It wasn't Carmen Rider fused with Venom. That's not what I was expecting. Doomscribe is actually how the Jergal Cleric is called. Really? That's interesting. Necro Knowledge Cleric? Maybe, yeah. That could actually work. Honestly, it looks badass. Yeah, exactly. Right, so Lord of the End of Everything, Faerun's original god of death before he eventually ceded the position, caring for little besides. Yeah, so we already kind of read that. Interesting, okay. Jergal was frequently depicted as a member of an ancient alien race that resembled a cross between a humanoid and a praying mantis. He was a wizened and insubstantial creature, mummy-like in appearance with grey, tightly taut skin. Yeah, okay, I can see that now with the design. Damn. Yeah, no, I think it looks... Well, yeah, I know Kamen Rider. Why wouldn't I? Let's see. Relationships. Bane, Bhaal, and Myrkul inherited most of the portfolios of Jergal. When he wearily stepped down from his position and then faded into near obscurity. Okay. Jergal's favoured manifestation was simply the sound of a closing book, carrying a chilling feeling of finality. No matter the manifestation, when Jergal spoke, his voice was chilling and seemingly disembodied, echoing with the dry whisper of a tomb that had long been forgotten. Yeah, so that is friggin' Withers in a nutshell. Jergal was also known to take on the form of an old mortal man with a great white beard and sunken eyes, but still held the spark of energy and betrayed his sharp intellect. He could take the form of any undead creature, implying that the form's abilities with his gear and an enervating touch, unless the creature... Okay. Yeah, so basically... Okay, so he's got some other stuff here. Cool, fresh ink. The outer surface was a gate to the negative energy plane. Okay. I think we mostly get Jergal's deal, right? Oh wow, even the Forgotten Realms wiki just says, during the events surrounding the rise of the cult of the Absolute, he manifested an avatar called Withers in a temple dedicated to himself that had lain abandoned for over a century. Like, is this, like, people are basically treating this as actually being confirmed. Was it ever actually confirmed that Jergal and Withers are basically the same person? What do you think of a Vecna deity build? I don't know enough about the character really to make a judgment on that right on the spot, but it could be a cool idea. Right, so it looks like we're going to be looking into stuff relating to kind of necromancy and potentially knowledge stuff as well. So let's get an idea for any equipment that might relate back to Jergal. So obviously, Amulet of Lost Voices. Book of the Dead Gods. Yeah. What's this one? Okay, well that's just for I think that's just for like a quest. Yeah, so the Amulet of Lost Voices is pretty much the only like Jergal deity item. Oh really, Kirk? That's actually interesting. I had no idea. Okay. Oh, there's Pokemon Scarlet music in the background, by the way. I like Pokemon music just for like the background, so I just kind of picked it. Got a bit of ambience in there as well. Yeah, so yeah, I think it was you, Kirk, who suggested like the kind of like knowledge necromancy, because I'd be interested in doing like a necromancer wizard build, because the only ones I've really done have been like kind of evil, but I could see, like, making a good aligned necromancy wizard. I actually think that could be really appealing as a character. Because necromancy spells, they're basically just, like, the... yeah, so we'd get, like, things like Bone Chill, which I know I want. False Life, Inflict Wounds. Yeah, because we could get Inflict Wounds from Cleric as well if we decided to go down that route. Yeah, no, I think there's a lot of room for that to be interesting, actually. Check for Church of Jergal. Is that on Forgotten Realms? Or is that on... Hold on. That might give us some ideas. Yeah, Forgotten Realms. The Church of Jergal was a small and secretive, rigidly organized and mostly a monastic order of scribes known as the Scriveners of Doom. That's a name I've heard before. When compared to other churches, they only had a small handful of living followers. Upon their death, Jergal would sometimes transform one of his priests into a mummy to carry on working for him in undeath. These mummified priests worked isolated in secluded crypts and were sometimes served by mindless undead such as zombies or skeletons. Interesting. Jergal's clergy were referred to... Yeah, okay. Activities. Based largely in lifeless stone mausoleums and dry, dusty crypts, its members spent their days maintaining extending vast archives of scrolls listing how sentients under their purview passed away and their destination in the afterlife. Only in Thay, interesting, where death was a daily fact of life, the Jergal Church had undergone a small renaissance. A handful of Jergal's followers still followed the old ways. Okay. Jergal's faithful have roles as morticians, scribes, and funerary workers. Interesting. Okay. So I kind of get the gist, right? My favorite D&D character was a good aligned necromancer. He ran an orphanage for the most depressing undead in D&D. That's really interesting, actually. Scrivener of Doom? Oh, yeah, easily. Scrivener of Doom or the... yeah, I think that actually is a pretty freaking awesome name. Let's actually read about these guys. Okay, that's all we need to know. What a short page. The Scriveners of Doom... pre-serve, describes, yeah, okay, so we already know that. Yeah, nothing too crazy there. So yeah, the main thing... so yeah, kind of a knowledge necromancy. I actually really do see that, because we could go for... search for Doomscribe. Okay, we're going to search for Doomscribe then. Okay, there's one more page to look at. Okay, this one has a bit more to it. Only a small number of Doomscribes existed, and they never went adventuring unless at Jergal's behest. They were experts in both necrology and the Netherworld. When each Doomscribe died, Jergal determined whether or not they would continue to serve him in undeath, or either as a mummy or a greater mummy. When attempting to either turn or command undead, a Doomscribe would double the number of undead affected. This power could be used 3 times per day. Interesting. So going to the 2 levels of Cleric for turn undead at the least actually does make sense as well. Okay. I think that all makes sense. If I recall correctly, both monks and wizards worship Jergal, maybe a dual build, Cleric Necromancer or Cleric Monk. Yeah, I could see that. I'm just kind of reading over this quickly. Easily identify various forms of undead, allowing them to target specific weaknesses during combat. Their knowledge of the planes provided a similar benefit when facing those two. All spells cast by a Doomscribe are either from the Lore Sphere or the Time Sphere. Or either from the Lore Sphere or the Time Sphere, were as strong as normal in all aspects. Okay, or twice as strong. Interesting. Doomscribes will cast the following spells on a daily basis depending on their skill. Feign Death, Ray of Enfeeblement, Mummy Touch, Skull Watch, Undead Ward, Animate Dead, and Energy Drain. They could also cast Age Creature. Doomscribes could also wear any type of armor available to them, and would wield a bludgeoning weapon of choice in combat. Well, I know we're going to be using the Necromancy Staff with this build, right? So that's a bludgeoning weapon. We could also wear armor if we wanted. Interesting. Okay. Pity for no long death monk? Yeah, I know what you mean. I'm late. Which deity? Hi, Raiden. We're doing Jergal. I've made an NPC for my campaign that's a good aligned necromancer. He worked to change the way people saw necromancy and despised how necromancy used the magic for evil. One of my... I know we haven't really done any of the world building streams yet, which are coming. I'm going to start them up probably closer to when I have the summer off, so there's more streams. One of the ideas I have for an NPC for that setting is a lich who isn't even, like, who just kind of is, like, an undead, like, businessman. Not, like, in the sense that, like, he's out peddling goods or something like that, but, like, if you go to his crypt, he basically kind of has, like, a necromantic-themed shop that you can, like, basically purchase things from, and it has, like, a bunch of, like, skeletons working for him. Stuff like that. Hi, Meowmix. Good to have you here. So, yeah, basically, I think this one's pretty easy, all things considered. They're all about keeping knowledge. We definitely want some of the clerical abilities for things like Turn Undead, and we absolutely want to play a Necromancer Wizard, I think. So I see this as probably a Knowledge Cleric Necromancer Wizard, like Kirk said. I think that makes the most amount of sense, and I think a lot of the equipment, actually, it's really easy, because we just go for the Necro-themed stuff. Because there even is, while I remember it, which would be a good page to open here. We'll do it on this one. There is the... it's in the clothing section, I believe, which I think might work nicely for this build. It's one of these down here. Yeah, it's the Veil of Mourning. Which his whole thing is like these. I'm pretty sure this robe is worn by like morticians in like this setting. Crafted from celestial feathers, bottled sunlight, and ink from the pages of sacred scripture, it's a wonder the maker didn't hang globes of garlic from the robes, so the anathema is to the undead. So yeah, let the undead blanch with fear. Undead have disadvantage on attack rolls against you, and you have advantage on saving throws against their spells and actions, and you can straight up use turn undead again once per long rest. And it's got like a really nice kind of look to it, so I would actually really like to wear that. It would be a cool idea for a fabrication necromancer using leftover cow bone and the fabrication spell to make an ethical skeleton. That actually is kind of cool. What deity are we doing, Jergal? Will you romance with us with this build? Could you imagine if that was an option? Circle of Bones is a very fitting equipment. Yep, I would also say Circle of Bones works. I think, yeah, we're just basically making the bog standard necromancer build, but we're putting like a more positive twist on it than I have otherwise normally, right? Yeah, obviously the Crypt Lord ring. Obviously the Crypt Lord ring. That makes sense, because then we just get Create Undead for free once per long rest. That makes perfect sense. Yes, the Necromancy Staff, obviously. It's the Staff of Cherished Necromancy. There you go. Yeah, and that even does an extra 1d4 necrotic damage on hit. We will be kind of multi-ability score dependent with this build, because we're going to need Strength, Dex, Wisdom, and Intelligence to make everything work. But I could possibly make that work. Okay. Yeah, Harlequin Black and White would look pretty good. The one... Yeah, and then there's also the... is it the Ghoulish? Yeah, oh, it's the ring that gives you Ghoulish Touch, which is the ring of Exalted Marrow, which allows you to basically cast Command on Undead, and also gives you like a Necromantic Paralyzation attack as well. Don't go under 14 Dex, yeah. Are there any good gloves for this? I think so, actually. I mean, that's the only problem with, like, I know what you're saying, Suku, but, like, the problem is with multi-classing builds like this that are going to be so heavily reliant on different stats. You can use the staff as a stat stick, then you don't need strength. True. That is true. Unless we find room for a 1-level dip into monk, then we don't need strength at all. Hello, Ben. Long time no see. Jergal. Let's have a look, actually, really quickly. Animate Dead, Bestow. Paralyzing Ray and Ray of Fear, both necromancy spells. Interesting. Dethrone would be a great one to grab with a build like this, especially since we will be going Wizard. In fact, that's what I wanted to look at, Necromancy Wizard. Because the level 10 feature makes you resistant to necrotic damage, and your hit points can't be reduced. I mean, theme-wise, yes. I see, like, why it would make sense to go for that, but I don't think it's necessary for the build. Honestly, the level 6 stuff is the most important. Yeah, I hate using the Gloves of Dex for everything, and I'd honestly like to avoid doing it. But I think this is going to be more of a spellcaster anyway, so I'm not going to focus on actually wanting to use the stick in combat, because we're not going to be a martial fighter. So I think I am just going to focus on the spellcasting side of things, so I think we are just going to make a spellcaster this time. What about Dual Wielder holding a Club of the Giant in the offhand? Yeah, that would work. Minimum of 6 Necrotic Wizard and 2 Knowledge Cleric, yeah. Cleric 4, Wiz 8, or Cleric 6, Wiz 6. Well, let's actually have a look at them then, because I think we've got a pretty good idea. I'm just going to open up my document real quick, so let's go for... Oh, what are we naming this build? Isn't it the Doom Scribe or something? Pretty sure. Doom Scribe. Yeah. It's going to be some mix of Cleric and Wizard, and we're going to go for weapons. And we're just going to figure out, like, the key equipment at the moment. I will figure out all the rest of the stuff, off stream like I do. Just for the sake of time. Yeah, Doomscribe. So, we know for a fact that we're using definitely the Veil of Mourning as our robe, so I'm going to put that in there. And again, I'll figure out the other stuff later. Circle of Bones. Absolutely, we want that. The Crypt Lord Ring. We want that in accessories. Staff of Cherished Necromancy. We want that in weapons. And then the Ring of Exalted Marrow. Absolutely, we want that one. If we do the Handmaiden's Mace, that does extra poison damage. Yeah, so you could throw that in there. There is that one ring that's either dropped by... Yeah, it's this one. This is the one you're thinking of. The one you're thinking that's dropped from the Spectator is the Spectator's Eye. I believe it's called. It's an amulet. Let me quickly pull that one up, actually. Because that might be worth considering. Because there's, like, a couple. There's, like, a ring that gives you, like, Paralyzing Ray as well. But that's, like, from House of Hope. That's a bit tricky. Yeah, it's the Spectator's Eyes, which will give you Ray of Fear and Wounding Ray. Which are fine, but I don't think it's that good in the late game. But I could see that being an option. Because obviously I'm going to be throwing the, where did I put it? The Amulet of Lost Voices on the build as like a lore option. But I think the Spectator's Eye could be a actual like other option as well. So I'll put both on there as a potential option. Yeah. Doom Scrivener? It's one of the two. It's like Scrivener of Doom or Doomscribe. Yeah, the Jergal amulet would obviously be more lore related. Well, thanks for stopping by anyway, Sin. Glad to have you here. Just gonna double check everything's good with the actual stream itself. Yeah, cool. So, I think we've got like a pretty solid basis for this. We just need to figure out the exact like leveling scheme that we want to do. We've got like the main equipment down. Like, honestly, this one was really easy. So let me quickly grab the classes and we'll pull them up. So we know we probably want some mixture of Cleric and Wizard here, so let's figure that out. You prefer the word Scrivener, though? Yeah. The reason Sin's leaving is because he's just had to deal with me for 3 hours already. He's probably tired of me at this point. Anyways, so let's have a look at this. Oh, well, I already had Necromancy Wizard up. But let's actually have a look at Wizard proper. Poor Sin, yeah, I know, mate. Subjecting himself to that torture. Right, so. Obviously, Jergal's domain is knowledge, so we would go with that. The problem is how high we want to go in knowledge. And how high we want to go in Wizard. Because it all depends on the spells that we want to pick up, right? I think the spells are the most important thing. You don't know the half of it. So yeah, we're getting Create Undead from the Ring. And then we can get, because we're taking Wizard levels, we can get a lot of stuff from Scrolls as well. It's like we can get things like Circle of Death and Dethrone and all that. The main, yeah, we could get things like Cloud Kill, but that's Conjuration, so I'm not too worried about that. And I could see... You thought you were bullshitting more in those 3 hours? I don't know, man. I just came up with the freaking massive tower. That was my biggest contribution. Yeah, we still want Turn Undead in some shape or form. And in fact, I think we might want to go for extra level and actually grab the version of Turn Undead that deals radiant damage, because that just kind of makes sense to me. Tower of Bethel? Not quite. Blight, I think I definitely want, for sure. So with Knowledge Cleric, or Cleric in general, I believe you get Destroy Undead at level 5. If I'm not mistaken. Yes, you do. I see Wizard 7, Cleric 5. Because I would also get a slow from, like, Knowledge Cleric. But again, are we not going to be focusing on Wisdom that much? That's the question, right? It's like, again, we have to think about the stats. So maybe I just want a level 2 to 4 dip of Cleric? Yeah, Necro does get additional summons at level 6. That's like one of the big features of it. If we look here. Yeah, because you get Animate Dead anyway, but then you also get an additional Undead every time you use Animate Dead, and they also get a bit more powerful. Creatures summoned with Animate Dead have additional hit points equal to your Wizard level and add your proficiency bonus to their damage. I'm thinking, actually, that maybe we want to go further in Wizard. Because I can see us getting a lot of things from Cleric that could be useful. But ultimately, with how we're going to have to spread the stats out, it's going to be a bit tricky. Spirit Guardians is at level 5, though, which would be Necromancy. Oh, see, that is good. Could use your hero's amulet to bump wisdom by 1. That is true, we could do that. Or Ethel's boon. If we don't care for that sort of thing. Why Fighter 1, Alvin? Glad to have you here, by the way. Why Fighter 1? Glyph of, the Spirit Guardians would be really nice. But then I feel like we'd stuck with using the Gloves of Dexterity again to make that work stat-wise. Because Spirit Guardians is reliant on the save to do the most damage, right? To do the damage, so we'd need High Wisdom. Remember Hill Giant Elixir will work on zombies? That's true. Hi, Brayden. A build that worships the Brethren Moon. Maybe. At some point. Hello, Clever Goblin. Good to have you here. Just woke up. Yeah, glad to have you here. Yeah, I appreciate that a lot of my streams are quite late for people. Oh, we're making a Jergal build, Goblin. There is an argument for Cleric plus Spores Druid. Hi, Donano. First stream you've catched. Well, I'm glad to have you here. Even a low save is useful because it procs so much. The question is, what do you want this character to focus on with their concentration? That is the question. That is the question. Spirit Guardians is nice, but again, we're not really looking to be a frontline fighter. Because again, Spirit Guardians is great, but you have to get in there. And if we're taking wizard levels, we're going to be quite squishy. So maybe Spirit Guardians is not something we outwardly want to focus on. I think our best concentration options would probably be stuff along the lines of... Actually, I don't know. That's a good point. Vampiric Touch? Maybe? As like a thematic thing? That could be a thing. But then again, that also requires getting in close range, so... It's tricky. It is tricky. I guess Spirit Guardians would be the only thing we would realistically concentrate on. Oh, Mercury, that sucks. Glad to have you here, but... We're sorry that happened. Cloud kill and a horde of zombies since they're immune to poison damage. Ah, see, that is good, actually. That is good. Oh, that would be devastating. Yeah, jeez. Maybe Spirit Guardians is an emergency spell. What's the current build looking like so far? We're basically making a Necromancer kind of Wizard Cleric mix for a Jergal Deity build, so it's looking quite good. You don't use it offensively, more defensively. Yeah, basically preventing things from wanting to come close to us. I see it. But, so yeah, Cloud Kill or Spirit Guardians. But the problem is we're not going to be able to get both in the same build. Although we could actually, because Cloud Kill can come from a scroll. We can scribe it from a scroll. Haste is also clutch. Yeah, but Haste is clutch on everything. Could use Poisonous Gloves too for more debuffs. Yeah, I could see that. We could have a look at some more of the equipment in depth in a minute. I'm just trying to figure out the level balance. It's some balance of Cleric and Wizard. I myself am partial to... Because we're getting the same amount of spell slots anyway, and for Wizard, that means we can just learn anything from a scroll. Regardless, I'm happy with... I mean, we get everything we'd want at levels for Wizard at level 6. So I'm happy to stop Wizard at 6 and maybe do a 6-6 split with Cleric and Wizard. Hello, CB Draw. Good to have you here. Maybe 8-4 for 3 feats? Maybe. How beat heavy is this going to be? Is the question. I know people are saying Spores Druid, and I understand why. But weirdly enough, Spores Druid is not the vibe. Does that make sense? Like, their whole way of doing necromancy is different. It's rooted in, like, nature and actual, like, spores and such like that. That doesn't feel very Jergal-y to me, from what I've read. Does that make sense? It's been a hot minute, how are we? I think I'm doing good, at least. Not a frontliner, no. I don't think this person's going to be a frontliner. I think they're going to be a lot of summoning, a lot of battlefield control, and a lot of, maybe, like, since we're going to be going with Knowledge Cleric, probably a bit of a skill monkey as well, maybe, like, the face of the party. 4-8 would let you grab Resilient Constitution for concentration saves and still max in. Okay. So then it becomes the question of what's the 4 and what's the 8. Because we definitely want the level 6 wizard feature, in my opinion. The only real reason we're going to Cleric level 5 is for Destroy Undead and Spirit Guardians. Which doesn't feel as integral to the build, in my personal opinion. But we definitely want level 6 in Necromancy, because that is where Necromancy takes off as a class. Isn't Jergal about balance? In a way, yes. What race? I'll figure that out with the actual video itself. Racial stuff isn't really going to matter here, I don't think. In Act 1, the Rose from the Spider Queen are a good option? Yeah, I'll figure all of that out in my own time. I'm just figuring out the level stuff at the moment. Cleric 5, Wizard 7 is good? Yeah. But I'm thinking, because this is going to be multi-ability score dependent, I think Kirk's got the right idea of getting 3 feats. I think that's going to make sense. Spore Druid is all about balance, and you get more unique summons and undead but don't eat spell slot. Yeah, but Jergal isn't a druid. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like a back and forth type deal. Elves would be the only race capable of being old enough to have been alive when Jergal was still worshipped. That's actually a good point. I'm going to put that in my notes. I'm going to put that in my notes. That's probably what the build is going to be then. I'll probably go for like a pure elf. Yeah. I can make that look cool. Question is, how common are enemy undead after Act 2? Also true. I think the main concentration of undead in Act 2 is this one crypt near the entrance to the Bhaal area in the sewers. Yeah, that's the problem with 7 Wiz and 5 Cleric. I think 4 Cleric, 8 Wizard is the way to go. In my opinion. Elf makes so much sense. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I think a 4-8 split between Wizard and Cleric makes sense, and I think Wizard needs to be the 8. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I think get 3 feats, I think it makes the most sense. Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm happy with that. I think 8 with Necromancy Wizard, 4 Knowledge Cleric gets us everything we want. I'm going to lock that in. And for now, I would say that other than the like minor extra equipment stuff that I'll get figured out in my own time, I think this build is done. What about the Gith? In theory, they could be older than an elf. Maybe, but what Gith would worship Jergal when they're under Vlaakith? I mean, yes, I've kind of worked that before, but I kind of like the idea of doing it as an elf. There's going to be some more Gith builds. Don't worry. Alright. I think next Deity. I think we're on to this. What about a 3-person build for the dead 3 gods, Bane, Bhaal, and Myrkul? Yeah, maybe at some point we can do that, but what I might do for that is like almost have it like be like a special week, right? Because I think when like maybe for like 1 week of builds, when I get to the dead 3, I'll have each build that week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, be one of the dead 3. So it's still a full party build, but it goes into more detail because I think they deserve that for being such prominent figures in the game. Does that make sense? That's probably what I would do for that, actually. I don't know. Halloween Dead 3 week. If it takes me that long to get to those... Well, I guess. Hang on a minute. How long is it actually going to take if I do one of these a week? Oh, it's not going to go all the way to October, is it? Oh, God. Dark Sun Gith. What? I'm about to get... What is the... What the toss is that? I think she lives down the road from me, near the old folks' home. What's this all about? Why have I been told to Google this? Just got here, what are we making? Hi, Sarvis! We just finished making a Jergal deity build and we'll vote on the next one shortly. Bloody hell, and I thought Ethel was ugly. I see, it's like a different setting. Okay, cool. Moving on! Because again, this is a shorter stream today. We've only got about an hour and 10 minutes probably left already. I'll probably go for a little bit longer than that, actually, but we'll see. Right, so we've done Jergal. Let me pull up the rest of the names, and we can get into a little bit more. Let's see. I will open up a straw poll for you all real quickly. Dark Sun is what's his biggest mistake? I've not really looked into it that much. Which one next? One. Right, so we got Bane. Oh, Cyric. Just trying to remember them all off the top of my head now. Close this for a minute. Cyric. Gond. Yep, Gond was another one. We've just done Jergal. But we're keen on it while Sin's not here. Maybe that could be like a bonus episode. Maybe, because we're probably not going to get all of these done today anyway, so we'll maybe do that next Deity Build stream. Who else have we missed? Kereska, and then we've already done that. Kereska, Myrkul, Silvanus. Okay, Kereska, Myrkul, Silvanus. Bonus episode starring Sin. Yeah, maybe I'll pull people from the community onto the channel for some videos sometimes. That could be fun. Hi, David. Hi, Jake. Ensnaring Strike is good with twin spell meta magic. Yeah, I think I saw some people talking about that in the Discord. What about an Archdevil like Zariel? Maybe. The Strange Ox praises Cyric. I thought that was really cheeky. Leave Gond for when we have mods, so you can make an Artificer. Maybe. But I think the Deity Build series being vanilla at least works, but I could come back to Gond later when Artificer becomes available through mods. You just wish for a Dark Sun conversion for 5e? Okay. Right. I think that's everyone. Don't think I missed anyone. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 left. Let's see. Right, I'm going to be copying this one in and pinning it. Give me 1 second here. There you all go. So, get to voting. Get to voting. Well, I double check that stream is still running. That's a lot of people here today. Saturday streams do that. Alright, let's see the results. Kereska, interestingly, sneaking up there. Silvanus as well, getting more votes than I expected. No, dead. Tell you what, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, guys, as far as the Dead 3 are concerned, maybe they should have their own stream. Since they're so important to the story of BG3, maybe we should just have a dedicated Dead 3 deity stream where we actually figure out everything. I think that could make sense. Shall I leave the Dead 3 out of this for now and we can come back to them as their own stream? I think that makes sense, so we can have it be a big thing. Yes, 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 yes. Okay, I think we'll do that then. We'll have the Dead 3 Deity Build stream be its own thing where we dedicate more time to those 3. A modded Deity Build series upcoming. Okay, now that we have mods, let's do it all again. I mean, hell, it would make sense we'd get all the proper domains and such, but nah, I don't think I could dedicate myself to another long-running series. You think this series has basically been going on just slightly longer than the channel's even been a thing? Like, that is how long this series has been running. Because I think my first deity build, was that the Spider of Lolth? And that was maybe like a month after I first started making videos, I think. Whoa. I would want to make a Cleric of Talona because I'm playing one in an actual D&D campaign. Interesting. Alvin knows how to help you monetize that sweet YouTube money. Yeah. I thought it was Dancer. Was it Dancer or was it Lolth? I'm pretty sure Lolth was first, or am I stupid? I'm 90% sure Lolth was first, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't think I would have done Eyeless Try first, right? Modded Deity Builds Milk It. Here's to an Oberon build someday? Yeah. Yeah, perhaps Eyeless Try came out first. Right, so it looks like we're doing Silvanus next. Interesting. Okay. This could be a Halcyon build. That's my immediate thought, is that Silvanus could be Halcyon. Let's have a look at Silvanus. Silvanus is the god of nature and wilderness. Neutral. Associated natures is the associated domain is nature. Silvanus, known as the Tree Father or the Oak Father, presides over nature, specifically wild nature. In both its natural beauty and fierce savagery, he can be wild and unpredictable, much like nature itself, and is wrathful towards those who threaten wild places. He is the patron of druids. Yeah. Sounds like a Halcyon build to me. You still need to remake Tiamat, though? Yeah, one day. It will happen, I promise. Then there's the actual dedicated page. So we've got a few Silvanus things here. We've got the Amulet, the Elixir, the Oak Farmer's Embrace, and the Pale Oak Equipment. Okay. Let's do some actual proper reading on him. Where's the Forgotten Realms wiki? I've deleted it. Then we can go to... Oh, look, his mustache. Silvanus. There we go. Too bad you can't wild shape into a woad. Yeah. Oh, I got this. There's a player in my campaign that's a Cleric of Silvanus. Interesting. Cleric 1, Druid 11? Probably. Spike Growth? Are we counting the Draconic Warrior build? Because that's the first deity build. Maybe. Maybe that counts, because I kind of did it with Bahamut theming, but it was definitely before the series where the actual deity build was like series was like named in the title. It was before that. So technically that counts. Nature Cleric, of course, yeah. Moon 10, Nature Cleric 2, maybe. The thing is though, we don't actually need Cleric levels anymore, because these guys aren't selectable. We don't need Cleric. Not anymore. But I think everyone's saying Nature Cleric Druid anyway. Lolth is second then. Ah, see, it was Lolth first. I didn't think so. You'd RP this character as a romantic partner for Halcyon. See, that's where you and I differ. I didn't even think of that. Silvanus was the Celtic and Faerunian power of wild nature, standing in contrast to the more ordered Agarigan nature represented by the goddess Shantae. Ooh. Have you ever played much D&D outside of Baldur's Gate 3? I may or may not have had my first session 0 ever for D&D literally before this stream. Maybe. That might have happened. Druid Beastmaster. I could see that. Although if you were doing the Avenger of Silvanus kind of thing, Nature Cleric Ranger could be cool. Use Wisdom and make a Shillelagh build? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it looks like Silvanus might actually be, like, yeah, because Celtic, yeah, so they're a real world deity, which I actually think is pretty cool. I've done it, and Beastmaster aspect is just not strong enough solo. Yeah, sometimes it's a bit underwhelming, but it honestly depends on how well you can utilize the unique abilities of each of the summons. Don't forget the blue druid tattoos, yes. Making Druid Ranger since Cleric isn't actually necessary? Yeah, because we don't need the dialogue. Not sure on the full logistics, but a wild magic sorcerer subclass given the chaotic and unpredictable nature. Maybe that could be interesting. Also, hi Beastie Forever. I don't believe I've seen you before in our chat. Welcome to the stream. Shillelagh on the Hill Giants Club is good. Yeah, it is really good. Shillelagh Ranger would go hard. Landruid Beastmaster. Oh man, I'm seeing so many different interpretations. I'm gonna let's read Silvanus' wiki page and see if that gives us a way to narrow down these choices. Silvanus had both an old and young avatar form that he was known to manifest in. His old form was known as the Old Father, which took the form of an old bearded human male face, either floating midair amongst the trees or sprouting from the trunk of an especially large and old tree. Okay. His young form was known as the Young Strider. This was a young, long-limbed humanoid male with particularly long legs, dressed in a suit of armor made of leaves and wielding a wooden mallet. Okay. That automatically makes me lean more to that Shillelagh Ranger idea, because of the whole using a wooden mallet thing. That's it. I'm getting me mallet. He's most often assumed this form when a sacred grove was threatened or a circle of druids was attacked during their worship. Another form he was known to manifest was the Horned Hunter, an entity similar in appearance to his fellow Celtic god, Silvanus. I hope I pronounced that correctly. The form was always a silent man with burning white eyes, sporting a set of stag antlers and shaggy brown fur that was almost bark-like. This form was always appeared among the trees, often just to indicate something by a gesturing, nodding, or a pointing before disappearing. Interesting. Oh my god, so much has just happened in chat while I was reading. This is why D&D is so good. I played for nearly 10 years and I've never seen the exact same build twice. Yeah, that's what I love about this sort of thing. Barbarians worship Silvanus? Really? Let's have a look. Worshippers. What does it say? I've missed that somewhere. His favorite weapon is a hammer, so maybe we need a hammer. Table of contents? Hold up. Am I stupid? Silvanus had both clerics and druids in his faith, although their presence varied by location, with druids being the more prominent due to his narrow focus on wild nature without a concern for balance. One could even find halfling druids revering him over their own pantheon's nature deity, which was a rare occurrence. Some barbarians, hermits, wilderness dwellers, and rangers also worshipped him. Well, yeah, but because barbarians live in the wilderness, like, yeah, I mean, that just makes sense in the most part. Let's actually read this a bit more in detail. His clergy often worked together with the clergy of his allies, Myrkul and Eldarth, towards common goals, with the latter of the two being instructed to support, protect, and, if the need arose, obey the clergy of Silvanus. These included protecting the wilderness from further encroachment by civilization, such as the felling of trees and limiting of farms or ranches to already cleared land. Also the fighting of diseases, planting new plants, and fighting those who did the bidding of Malar. His worship was also worshipped across the east and south of Tethir, especially in the forests of Tethir, in the downlands of Moonshine. Okay. So yeah, so basically, his whole thing is just protecting nature in a way. Don't forget to check Church of Silvanus, I will. Without a concern for balance, yet Halsin also often talks about balance. Yeah, well, many barbarians do live in the wilds, yeah. Shillelagh Polar Master is Kino? Okay, that could be something. Wild Heart Barbarian could also work. Yeah, you see, that's the thing. Barbarian makes sense, Ranger makes sense, Druid makes sense, and Nature Cleric makes sense. So many things that make sense. This one is the tricky one. And so I think it comes down to the idea of what do we actually want to focus on? What aspect of the whole nature theming do we want to focus on? Because let's have a look at the powers. Maybe that can help. His avatar was capable of controlling any number of animals and forest creatures with the sound of his voice. He could also make plants grow or shrink at any rate he willed. Both of his avatar forms could cast spells from any sphere or school of magic. The Old Father form would cast spells from the animal, plant, and weather spheres at triple their normal effect, while for his Young Strider form this only occurred for spells in the weather sphere. In addition, the Old Father avatar form could create and animate both plants and fungi, imitating similar spells from any sphere or school of magic. He could also shrink and enlarge animals, summon animals to his aid, and then command loyalty from any mundane animal, giant animal, or sylvan creature, even turning animals against their owners. He frequently summoned treants to his aid. The Horned Hunter could also could also cast some spells, most notably telekinesis, far beyond the normal weight limits, and only spoke to other creatures through telepathic means. So that sounds like with the... Hold on. Let me actually have a look at the classes here, because that to me says... if we scroll all the way back up here. That says to me... Hear me out, a hunter ranger, but not one that hunts animals, but one that hunts hunters. Ooh. I like that, actually. I like the idea of doing a duo build again. One frontliner and one caster. Yeah, because... I mean, I did that for Myrkul, but honestly, that could work. Because there's so many different areas to cover. I could see, like, Ranger Druid, and then maybe... Or maybe, like, Barbarian Druid, or Barbarian Ranger... Maybe mixed with, like, a Nature Cleric Druid mix? I don't know. Because you could have one be Halcyon and one be, like, Tav. Maybe. Animal Summoning. Is there a combo with Wild Bear, Barbarian, and Spore Druid? Possibly, yeah, because they're a frontline fighter type build, yeah. The old one and the young one? Maybe. How old is Halcyon? Probably pretty old. Something along those lines, maybe. It's tricky, though, because, again, there's so many different angles we could take with it. But I wanted to check Nature Cleric really quickly, because Nature Cleric has Charm Plants and Animals. Yeah, which Silvanus is deliberately outlined to be able to do, so I feel like Nature Cleric makes sense. Silvanus did not have many allies, nor did he have many enemies. Well, we already know all that, yeah. Other allies included Shantae and Lathander. Interesting. Worshippers, here we go. Let's have a look. Silvanus had both clerics and druids in his faith, though their presence varied by location, with druids being more prominent due to his narrow focus on wild nature without concern for balance. One could even find halfling druids referring him over their own... Okay, so we read that already. Oh yeah, we already read this. What am I talking about? We already read this. Oh, Jaheira. Halcyon is 350. Right. Halcyon's older than Jaheira, I think, yeah. I think Jaheira is... Am I correct in saying Jaheira's only half-elf, so they don't live as long? That's clever. That's quite funny, Goblin. Jaheira is a half-elf? Yeah. Right, right. Maybe we could make this then a... Well, no, I don't know how well that would work, though, but the idea of it being a Jaheira-Halcyon duo build is honestly kind of fun to me. Alright, I'll quickly check Church of Silvanus. Hang on. Oh my god, there's a lot of stuff. Urban worshippers of Silvanus were gardeners who tried to create a space of wilderness within the broader city. They also dispensed sweet sap drinks, such as maple syrup, one of my favourite deities already, sweet root brews, and mint teas in order to attract followers. Clergy of Silvanus preached about the peace and purity of the wildlands. Weird tangent. I hate that I can't get good maple syrup here in the UK. Canada did it so much better. Anyways, tangent over. Clergy of Silvanus were expected to protect forests, plant new trees wherever possible, and banish disease. They were also friends of dryads. Oh, that makes me want to get the dryad summoned so bad. And we were expected to seek them out and serve them whenever possible. While expected to kill only when necessary, they were fierce enemies of those who would harm the forest with axe or fire. Oh, so they kind of be at a clash with wildfire druids then. Silver Knights should use violence only when the situation or hostile enemy leaves for no other option. So that's kind of why Halcyon was a bit more of a pacifist, and then until the Goblin Camp happened, and then he went on a bear rampage. Oh yeah, yes, in the most technical way, Dex, yeah. The Church of Canada? You think Jaheira didn't use... What scroll, sorry, Ilya, what do you mean? Halcyon and Jaheira, the older one is the young one, and the younger one is the old one. Honestly, that's kind of funny. Church of Syrup. Oh, man. Also, who are we doing now? Hi, Sin, glad to have you back. We're doing Silvanus. And we're discussing the potential of it being a duo build, and now that has evolved into it being Jaheira and Halsin. And I'm kind of liking that idea. Because Silvanus himself had, I think, 3 specific avatars, but there's like 2 that we're kind of focusing on. Okay. I like the idea of this being a duo build. That allows us to cover a lot of different areas. And I like the idea of it being Jaheira and Halsin, but I'm not 100% married to that. I definitely think no matter what I'm doing with this duo build, one of the duo is Halsin. That's non-negotiable, I think, because I can't just not do that. Whether the other one is Jaheira or not is going to be mainly down to you guys. Edge Cleric 1, Beastmaster Ranger 11. Yeah, that could work. You're our crazy hat. I'm back in the UK now, but I just miss Canada sometimes. I say 3 and have Tav being a follower trying to learn from the 2. Hi, Gorilla. Good to have you here. Another name I don't actually recognize. Well, if you're new to the stream, happy to have you here. Kind of a problem we need is we need both Halsin and Jaheira done differently. Well, that's the thing. We have so many different ways, like that we've kind of managed. Like we've managed to figure it out because like we could use Barbarian, we could use Ranger, we could use Cleric, and we could use Druid. There's 4 classes we can use. Split those across 2 builds, and you've got 2 very unique builds. We just had to figure out the equipment. You dig the? Yeah, I think the Jaheira idea is pretty cool. We haven't done a trio build yet. I suppose not. I think you could just mention you can have Jaheira instead. Okay, I will admit this though, from the YouTube side of things as well. Having both Jaheira and Halsin in the thumbnail, that appeals to more people. I know that's the wrong way to look at it, but that's just me. But I'm not going to include that as part of this whole thing. Yeah, we are going to do a Dead 3 trio build though. That is going to happen. Halsin is a bear, wild heart barbarian, moon druid for the rage-induced bear rampage that Silvanus did. Doesn't Halsin keep his bear wild shape no matter what you multi-class him into? Am I wrong about that? Isn't that like part of his character, not actually part of his class? Yeah, I don't think I've ever done an actual trio build, no. Because the point is like, duo builds are fine because it's half the team. Full party builds make sense because that's 4 people. 3 is just an odd number, like, to work with in a party of 4. I think maybe because of Jaheira's lore, maybe just Halsin and Tav. Maybe we should put that to a vote, then. Sin, what is that? What does that even mean? Yeah, we'll put it to a vote if we want Jaheira in or not. Why not? I'm sorry, there's a what? I don't know. I feel like 3 is too much. In my personal opinion, I think 3 is too much. For my sake as well, I want to keep it to 2. Jaheira. That's not how you spell it, but that's what I'm going with. Yes or no? Simple ass poll. Share it in the chat. Right, there we go. Okay, 1 for yes, 1 for no already. Oh, this is going to be pretty split, isn't it? I can already tell there's going to be like a difference of opinion here. There's the people. We do have to take her backstory into account from like Baldur's Gate 2 and that. Because she was more of like a fighter druid more than anything. Originally. I'm not sure how much of a connection to Silvanus she actually has. I just like the idea of using both of the druid characters together, but honestly it's not necessary. Well, looks like No is taking the kind of taking the lead. Schism moment? What does that mean? Well, I'll give it a few more minutes. Oh, well, not a minute, probably a few more seconds. But we'll see where we go from there. I'm just going to check for stream quality, make sure that we're all good here. Yeah, I think we're alright. I like having like streams like this be on ultra low latency mode because I can get much more real-time interactions with you guys. Oh, yes is slowly climbing its way back up. Half of the viewers are going to start a war. Perhaps. What is my dog barking at? Darn thing. It's probably about to go out, that's why. Oh, it's gone to 10-8 now. Oh, that's slim, man. Like, it's one of the, it's like to that point where, like, I don't know. I feel like two people are gonna vote yes just to even it out and then force me to have an aneurysm. Let's see. Ah! Do I close the poll now? Angry Mob Party Build win. I used the extended party mod. Have you done a Jaheira build? Yes, I have. I did a... Shit. I've done a dedicated Jaheira build before, yes. And she was a fighter druid in my video. I scored up to 11. Guys! That is people being trolls. That is just people trolling me. Well, now what am I meant to do? Do I flip a coin? Oh! One person has voted yes. 2 people have voted yes. That means that unless 2 people vote for no... Shit, this is the most... Okay, how many of you are opening alternate accounts? Who's saying both? Okay, looks like we've got 2 more votes for yes now. Right, I'm going to count to 5. If there are no more votes by the time I'm finished counting to 5... then we're going to go with yes, which means it's going to be a Jaheira and Halsin duo build, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's it. It is going to be a Jaheira and Halsin duo build. There's enough. I can't take hypotheticals and other stuff into account. That's just what we're going with. Closing the poll. Jaheira and Halsin. Well, Clever, even... Okay, I see that you're voting no, Clever, but even with that, it's still 14-13, so... Nothing I can do. We're going with yes. And I'm sorry if that has split you guys... But I can't help it, because I didn't see you. Sin, come on. Right, so I'm going to put it down here. Let me get my notes in order. So we know, either way we know it's going to be a duo build, so we just have to figure out what levels we're putting into each build, and then we'll probably be good. I can figure out the rest of the equipment on my own. Bro, I voted yes for the memes, but it meant no. Well, Redoc, you should have voted for what you wanted, not what was funny. Pitchforks are half off. Stop. Oh, this is why I stream. It's stuff like this. This is why I stream. Anyways, let's get into it. So, what are the 2 builds that we want to make? Yeah, we're going to move on from this. We're just going to make the 2 builds. So, let's have a look at this together. So, I know we can possibly incorporate Barbarian, Druid, Cleric, and Ranger basically into these builds pretty wholeheartedly. We can use the cheap pitchforks to build barricades. Yeah, Cleric, Ranger. I'll close the item stuff for now because I can always just come back to that. But I was just gonna look. I was gonna look at it in more depth later anyway. Yeah, so we've got. So let's have a look. Barb Druid for Halsin, Cleric Ranger for Jaheira. Yeah, I can see the Cleric Ranger stuff for Jaheira. Because that kind of gets almost that like fighter stuff in. I mean, I know her whole thing is that she is a druid, but we can twist it a little bit. Meat and vegetable. I can't believe we're still on that. Well, let's have a look for how. Well, let's look at it from. Well, what do we actually want from each class? So we know we're talking about Nature Cleric. Druid, we'll have to figure out the subclass. Ranger, I've heard people say Hunter and I've heard people say Beastmaster, so we'll have to see. And Barbarian is obviously going to be Wildheart. There's no getting around that. So we'll have to decide what we want from each build. Whenever Halsin rages, you can hear the bear roar. Oh yeah, I guess we. Wait, even without Wildheart? Interesting. Right, so Nature Domain, let's have a look. I know we want Charm Plants and Animals because that's actually one of Silvanus' abilities. We could also make ourselves a bit more tanky with something like Dampen Elements, and then there's also Divine Strike, which could be fun, but I don't know how high we want to go into Cleric. Sausage and melons. I just read that out loud. Okay. Bear Wildheart with Moon Druid gives you the strongest bear ever. Yeah, but here's... Okay, I need to just... Hold on a second. Where is it? Here it is. Technically already done it. What the shit is this? YouTube? These are not supposed to be here. They're supposed to be over here. What is this? Hold on, I need to make... Because this is like my private browser window. I need to make sure they haven't done that shit. They didn't do that shit on this, did they? Okay, no, I must have an extension on my actual browser that stops that from happening. Because Jesus Christ, that is awful. You can change it in the settings. Okay. But yeah, basically, I did this already. If we look over here, you can see I've done Barbarian 4, Moon Druid, Bear 8. So I've done that one already. I've also done a Halsin build before. Hold on. Yeah. Which was pretty much all Moon Druid, if I remember correctly. Yeah, because we did this one together. Yeah, we did War Cleric, Fighter, Moon Druid. So I'd like to do something slightly different, maybe. That's all I'm saying. Question is, what type of bear? Cave bear, I think. Yeah, Symbiotic Entity and Rage do work because Symbiotic Entity is a class action, not a spell. So it does work. Mobile-friendly layout? Not friendly for my health. So I guess, do we want Halsin in a wild shape, healing, or casting, or a combo? Yeah, that's the thing. Your mum can hear me now. Hello, Mina's mum. I'm the weird man in the computer. Right. Let's have a look-see. Oh, maybe there's something interesting we can look at from the Barbarian forms, because I've done Bearheart, but maybe there's something else interesting that can be done here, perhaps? Oh. Jaheira can still follow her dual-wielding vibe by going Gloomstalker / Spore Druid. That's true, because, when I did my original Jaheira build, I deliberately went with Fighter Land Druid, because I felt like Spores wasn't really right for the whole thing. But I could see Spores now, because I've not done it. Weird man in the computer? Yeah, are you kidding me? I am a weird man, and I'm in a computer. Or maybe I'm in your phone, or maybe I'm in your TV. Maybe I'm on your smart fridge, who knows? I've invaded your house, I'm in your walls. When you hear knocking in the night, that's me. Every creak, every small little sound, every scurry across the floorboards, that is me, watching, waiting, until you're vulnerable. Then I'll strike. Anyway, so back to this. Ben! That caught me so off guard. No, I mean, you just... Why would you ever type that? Sorry, let's get back on track. I'm so sorry. I believe Wildheart Barb abilities carry over into the wild shape, so you could do the whole Tiger Badger Bleed build on a moon. Really? Okay, so is there a wild shape that does bleeding? What is it with you and shouting at people from a computer? I don't know. Hang on. Is there a wild shape form that does that? Because that would actually be sick. Bear. Let me have a look. Does the bear bleed? Hi, Joanna. Good to have you here. If you were in my fridge, you'd be the only thing. Whoa. Let's see. Is there any wild shape form? Yeah, the tiger... I don't think we... Do we... Oh, the saber-tooth tiger. Maybe. Shred armor, enhanced jump. No, it looks like it only knocks prone. I can actually look at the bleeding condition. Hold up. Not bleeding. Yeah, bleeding condition. Let's have a look at this page and see. Bleeding. Creature take... Sources of bleeding. Bull's faithful. The Alaramus? Nah. We won't have access to this then, because I'm pretty sure this isn't like the wild shape form. No. Unless I'm wrong. Let's check the dinosaur. Let's check it real quick. Where? Oh, it's not in Circle of the Moon wild shape. It is a Circle of the Moon wild shape, isn't it? Yeah. No, it's not. I'm being stupid. What page am I on? Where am I? Is it level... Yes, level 10. Bite. No, it does acid. It doesn't bleed. What the shit? This is just on the wiki. I just checked and them all and I didn't see any with bleed. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna work. I didn't expect this stream to go so off the rails, I must admit. This was just meant to be a simple, short, sweet Deity Build stream. Nope. That did not work out the way I thought it would. New trivia night, boys. Probably like one of your friends. Do not say smash. Oh god. You know, I could do like a really unhinged like BG3 smash or pass stream, but I won't because I just don't. That would not go well. I was basically saying that you could go Tiger Heart Barb and use a Tiger Heart's Bloodlust ability in Wild Shape form, allowing you to inflict bleed with Wild Shape. No, because I don't think that works. Because I'm pretty sure Tiger's Bloodlust needs a weapon. Yeah, because it's based on your weapon. I would actually have to test that in-game, but I'm 90% sure that doesn't work because you need to have a weapon equipped. Are there any good Hi, Micah. Are there any good Necromancer items? I'm doing a Necromancer run. Sure, let me name off a few of them right now. The Staff of Cherished Necromancy, the Veil of the Morning, Circle of Bones, the Cryptlord Ring, and the Ring of the Exalted Marrow. There you go. You could do Myrmidons. With the Myrmidons? Oh, because, yeah, the Myrmidons have weapons, don't they? But then the build doesn't come... Oh, no, but you can't, because you need to be level 3 of Barbarian to get Tiger's Bloodlust, and the Myrmidons are a level 10 Wild Shape. There's not enough levels. Does unarmed attack count as a weapon for this sake? I don't know, because are they considered natural weapons? You know, we could just boot up the game and test. 1 second. Hold up. 1 second. I should already have BG3 set up as a capture, so you guys should see this right away. Hold up. 1 second. Claws are natural weapons? Yeah, so maybe this will work. Oh. PC's having a bit of a shit. Oh. Hang on. My PC kind of shat itself for a second there. It didn't like me booting all this up. Just making sure it is appearing on the stream. Yes, it is. Coolio. I have romanced people in this game, Meow Mix, but I just did it to see the content, not because I actually wanted to romance anyone. I have romanced people. I've done the Shadowheart romance, and I've done the Karlach romance. I don't think I've done any others. Load game. He's Odin, but a little bit to the right. Let's see. We'll quickly grab Halsin. Rookie. Being Arrow doesn't make me a rookie. Pride Month, I'm allowed to say I'm aromantic. Because apparently that counts. Oh yeah, I guess I'd done the Minthara one as well. Yeah, because it was part of my evil route, and I'm like, oh, I'll only see this on the evil route because it was way back when. So yeah, I think I did Minthara too. But again, back then, most of her romance stuff wasn't even in the game, so I don't even know if that counts. Has anyone ever gone out of their way to make all of the NPCs hate you? Just kill Scratch. That is pretty much gonna make everyone hate you. Hello, Halsin.
Will sacrificed his own father.
Yes, he did. Now, come with me. Okay.
Yes.
Right. I'm pretty sure this one's just pure Moon Druid, right? Yeah. Well, let's quickly respec, and we'll go from there and have a look. Yo, fellow romantic. Yeah. It's something I figured out about myself fairly recently, within like the last year or so. But it made sense once I thought about it long enough. Right, so let's have a look. Let's go for Druid to start. I'm not really thinking about it too hard. We're just looking to see if this works the way I think it does. Yeah, we'll go Circle of the Moon. Let's have a look. Well, we get this. I don't need to worry about stats too much because we get it from the wild shape form anyway. I'm gonna do like a. Like, I'm gonna go this far because so then we get Owlbear, and then I'm gonna multiclass into Barbarian and go from there. Yep, that's fine. Wild Heart, Bestial. We want Tiger. See if this works. Huh. I didn't realize. Yeah, I guess Halsin would get the piercings. Huh, interesting. Beats. Don't know if we need any specific things. Yeah, whatever. Accidentally killing Scratch makes me hate the rest of my own PC. The rest of the crew agreed. Hi, Prophetic. How do you accidentally kill Scratch? Because the only time you can accidentally be like killed is in is it the Wolverine? Yeah, when you attack a bleeding or poison target. Yeah. Yeah, I know you can turn the piercings off, but I kind of wanted to see what he looked like with them on. Oh God. Now, I know a lot of people would like to say they're inside Halcyon, but that's not what they meant. Okay. Right, let's quickly go... Where can we go? Where can we go? We can go... Baldur's Gate. The problem is I need something that can bleed. Apparently he also has something he wants to say, but we'll figure that out. Well, I think... Yeah, there's some enemies down here that... We're playing GP. We're just testing something real quick. Yeah, so we've got the wild-shaped cave bear. Cave bears are starting health of 36 and increases every 2 druid levels. Okay. So I need to wild shape. I'm just going to do the owl bear just to check, but we can check the cave bear form too. And yeah, see? Disappears. So it's not even an option, unfortunately. Hello. Things are freaking huge. I always forget that. Yeah, so Tiger's Bloodlust is not going to work because it just isn't even given to us as an option. Do you have to rage first? Oh, maybe. That's my fault. Yep. Whoops. God. Yeah, it would help if I actually thought about things before doing them. Right, rage first. Oh, but we have to be in combat. I don't really have a... Right, Halcyon, punch him. Just punched him in the arse. Right. Right, please don't kill me before I'm even able to do a thing. Halcyon getting a crit on the punch. Because of course. Right, maimed. I can heal Halcyon and then that'll go away. Put thought into something, cherish the thought. Perish the thought. Yep, I've never put effort into anything I've ever done on this channel, ever, and nobody can tell you otherwise. Get up. In fact, actually, take one of these. There you go. That'll help things. Ow. Ow. Okay. First we rage. Are you fucking serious? I have to have a melee weapon equipped to... Right, so... Oh, I clicked the wrong thing. Why did I think that was the rage button? I'm so stupid. Guess we gotta wait another turn now, because I can't wild shape this turn. God damn it. I'm such an idiot. This will have more physical resistances. Oh, are you kidding me? Nothing I ever tried to do goes right. I'm gonna put Sanctuary on Halcyon instead. Then, I don't know, I'll heal him again. And I'm gonna go invisible. You're doing great. No, I don't feel like I am. Even that didn't work. Holy crap, man. We're not even going to get a chance to test it. Because we're just going to fucking die. Oh, Halcyon was not happy about that, I just heard. Okay. Still Sanctuary run. Right. Now we wild shape. While raging. Into the owlbear. I'm pretty sure it's just going to go away, though. Yes, it does. We are still enraged. But we do not have the option. That's what I thought. Whoops. Okay, so... Can't you put it there? I don't think so, can you? Nope. Only rage. Only end rage. Doesn't work. So unfortunately, that's not a plan of action. Oh well. What about the bull buff? Maybe, but I think we're trying too hard to make a concept work that... No, it's not your bad. It's just, it was worth testing. Because I never thought to test something like that before. But that was how I thought it worked. So, unfortunately. So, we need to... this is probably going to have to... At this rate... What's the time? Yeah, this is probably going to have to be the last build I do tonight now, actually. Just because I'm probably going to run out of time by the time we get this finished, since we're trying to make 2 builds for 1 deity. Right, so... I left the stream for some minutes. Does Barbarian Rage work with Wild Shape? Yes. Rage works with Wild Shape, but Rage-specific features, like if you want to do like a weapon attack, like from Tiger's Bloodlust, that doesn't work. Rage from the Barbarian Bear Rage will carry over the resistances, though. Yeah, unfortunately, I think it works a bit different because the resistances are a passive thing, but the other stuff will requires like you to actually do an action, and then your hotbar when you transform gets replaced entirely. So, unfortunately, it don't work. So no bleed, sadly. Unfortunate. It was an interesting line of inquiry, and I'm glad we went down it, but it's not going to work, unfortunately. Oh well. I'm definitely thinking, like... Hold on, where can we go for... Someone said earlier the idea of Gloomstalker Ranger Spores Druid. I like that. For Jaheira. And then maybe we could do, like... I don't know, I'm not feeling the Barbarian option as much as I thought. If I'm being honest, now that we're kind of more limited in what we could even go for with that, I'm honestly kind of thinking I would just go for, like, Druid, Cleric, Ranger Druid instead. Oh. Did Meowmix have to leave? Sorry, I didn't see them leave. Are you in 2 chats at once, Dex? Yeah. I have over... Ooh. Interesting, Meow. Jesus. You're multitasking again. Is Red streaming right now, actually? Oh, I'll pop in and say hi later. Right, so... Yeah, I'm not content with Wildheart, I must admit. I'm actually quite happy to try and do like 2 different druid subclasses one mixed with cleric, one mixed with ranger. And I like Spore's Gloomstalker. I really like that vibe. And you can also look at it as like kind of like a sort of like, because again, it's like the balance thing again. One's kind of like a fightery type, and one's more of like a castery type, and like one's about dark, the other one's a bit more light themed. Something like that. Oh, okay. Knight of the Wilds. I like that name. That's cool. Ranger 5 for extra attack. Oh yeah, always. We always go Ranger 5. Because that would get us Misty Step as well, which is real nice. And then if we go Circle of Spores 7, because the way Halo of Spores, not Halo, it's Symbiotic Entity, it's 4 temp HP per Druid level. So 4 times 7, that's a pretty decent amount. House and circle the land and change it every time you change location. That's actually kind of fun. Meat and vegetables. Meat is goodness, vegetables are evil. Maybe a level in Monk? I could see why you would say that. Because you'd get, like, the dexterity-based stuff, but maybe. But yeah, we'd get, like, Blight and such like that. I mean, again, are we going... I don't think we're going too far from, like, the realm of Silvanus. I think this is mainly just kind of... I think when we go to, like, the Nature Cleric, like, maybe probably Land Druid build or Moon Druid, I think that's going to be more of the actual, like, Silvanus thing. Because that's the thing, we kind of forgot that this was... I think we kind of forgot that this is meant to be, like, a Silvanus build. Whoops. Let's have a look. Okay. Sorry, I'm sorry if I've gone quiet for a minute. I'm just trying to read this as quickly as I can. Right. But yeah, I like the Gloomstalker Spores idea. I think that could be fun. And I think, yeah, and I think the 5-7 split makes the most sense. So I'm going to lock that in for Jahidi. Let me do that really quick. Gloomstalker range of 5. I've not done a Circle of Spores build in a while, so that's actually going to be kind of fun. Gloomspore. Yeah, it was cool, Meow Mix. I quite like the idea. Now we're on to... So if we take that out of the equation, we'll get rid of Ranger so we're not doubling up. We definitely want Nature Domain. It's just how many levels of it and what subclass of Druid we're going for. See you, Soy Sauce. Glad to have you. Oh, see... I like this community that we have here. We're all saying, like, goodbye and hello to each other and all that sort of thing. We're always, like, looking out for each other. It's always nice. One of the benefits of being a smaller streamer, I think. For sure. God, it was like when I was watching the, I was watching Summer Game Fest last night. And, like, there was, like, 500,000 or so people in, like, the YouTube, like, chat. And half the time, I think it was just people yelling obscenities and such like that. I just turned it off. It was awful. Stuff like this I much prefer. Any big streamer really has a problem with, like, just chat being unbearable. Nature Land seems like the best caster comp. Yeah, that's true. But again, if this is a house and build, do we really want to take away that identity? Because again, we got to take the characters into consideration in a way. And I feel like if we went with... But then Land Druid does work, though, in a way. We still get the wild shape, actually. So, actually, Moon Druid isn't necessary. I love your builds. I've tried coming up with some tweaking for personal preferences. Oh, thanks, China. I'm glad you like them. Be wondering why people would be here if they didn't, I must admit. Yeah, let's have a look at Circle of the Land. I'm still of the mind that Circle of the Land's like desert variant. Should have got some fire spells. That would have been sick. Would have been the closest thing to Wildfire Druid that we get in this game. Yeah, so how many levels of Nature Domain do we want? I know we want at least 2 for Charmed Plants and Animals. But everything else kind of just seems to overlap. I don't think we need too many nature cleric levels unless we want base cleric features. But I can't see what would specifically come up from that, right? Yeah, I think Halcyon gets his bear transformation no matter what. When in the game can you actually charm plants? That's the thing. I believe this works on the roots that attack you in the Shadowlands. You know, there's like roots that come up from the ground. And also it works on beasts too, but plants... And I think technically, like, if you fight like the wood woads and stuff like that in Act 1, those also count. Nature Cleric is too much like a Land Druid. Light. Yeah, but then I think they also get... Actually, this is kind of the cool thing. If we go back... back to this Circle of the Nature Clerics get a few things. They get Acolyte of Nature. They also get a free extra Druid cantrip as well as Speak with Animals, and they also get heavy armor proficiency and an extra skill proficiency. They do get a lot that I think makes a level 2 dip at the least for this specific build worth it. So I can actually see an argument for Land Druid 10 at maybe Nature Cleric 2? Or maybe drop a level in Nature... not Nature Cleric. Land Druid for... so we still get the level 9 spells. But we would also get maybe access to like a dip into Monk. Again, for maybe being able to use Dexterity for stuff if we want. Something like that. There are so few plant types, it's stupid. Let's actually have a look. I'm curious. I'm actually curious. Category plants. So any of the myconids... These guys... that's just another Myconid. Grasping Vine, yep. It's just another Myconid. That's just another Myconid. That's just another Myconid. That's just another... The Woodward? And then the Shadow Cursed motherfuckers. These guys. Yeah, Nature Cleric actually has a lot going for it that I think people don't give enough credit to. Getting all the Cleric stuff on top of, like, battlefield control, like Plant Growth, Sleet Storm, Spike Growth, Dampen Elements, making you and your allies tanky against elemental spells is really fun. Divine Strike is just awesome in this one, because you get to pick, like, the element. And then you also get, like, Insect Plague and stuff like that. I actually think it's really underrated. I agree. 3 creatures, basically. Yeah. But we need it for the theme. This is a deity build more than anything else at the end of the day. So, unless we can think of a 1 or 2 level dip that we might want, I think Circle of the Land 10, Nature Cleric 2 works. Hi, Rob. Good to have you here. We're on Silvanus, and we're doing a duo build. One is Jaheira, one is Halsin, which I think is kind of fun. Yeah. So unless there's a 1 level dip that we can think of that we want, I mean, I don't know what we'd go for. Monk is the only thing that gives you, like, a lot with, like, a 1 level dip, in my opinion. Maybe other than Fighter. Yeah, Nature Cleric, again, it has a lot going for it, Phantom. I agree. Martial Arts, Dexterous Attacks... Not really... Well, Unarmored Defense could be nice, but... I don't think it's necessary to the build. What other 1 level dips could be nice? I'm trying to think. Unless we do want that Wild Magic Sorcerer dip like we were talking about earlier, because of the whole thing of, like, Silvanus is this chaotic, wild nature deity. Maybe? Sork for the first level would give shield and con save proficiency? Yeah, maybe. And again, Silvanus' whole thing is, like, this wild and uncontrolled nature, so, like, having a wild magic druid could be really fun, actually. Yeah, if we look at Silvanus himself, like, literally in the first paragraph, he was the Faerunian power of wild nature, standing in contrast to the more ordered Agarian nature represented by the goddess Chante. Yeah, so his whole thing actually is, like, more wild and chaotic nature. Not caring for balance. Bedluck isn't that bad, at least not in my opinion. As a level 6 feature, maybe. It's not the worst thing in the world. There's worse level 6 features out there. Besides, for a 1 level dip... That's true, Kirk. I like that, actually. I like Wild Magic 1, Land Druid 9, Nature Cleric 2. I think that covers everything we would want for Silvanus. Honestly, I'm locking that in. What would be lost from taking 9 levels instead of 10? The ability to not be charmed or frightened by elementals and fae, and disease and poison no longer affects us. So technically we'd get a poison immunity? Well, my thing is with that is, like, for what you're saying, Rob, I like, specifically because level 2 of Nature Cleric gives us charm animals and plants, which I never get to use on builds, and also is extremely on theme for Silvanus, because it's one of his abilities, is to do that. So I think it makes sense. Also, wild shape forms, yes. Well, I guess we'd missed out on the level 10 wild shape forms, if we really wanted those. Let me actually just have a look at 10th level. Including improved Wild Strike, and the Dilophosaurus. What diseases are even in the game? I think there's one in, like, Ethel's Bog, but I can't remember. There are diseases. There are. Just very few and far between. Some spell effects count as diseases, I think. Now I see this one as more of a spellcaster deck, if I'm honest. I don't do enough. I do a lot of like Spellblade builds. I need to do something that's more one or the other. Yeah, so 10 if you want to be wild-shaped more, 9 if you want to be more castery. Yeah, I definitely think that makes sense. And I kind of prefer the castery nature. Again, I feel like I know that, really, if I wasn't focusing on this being a deity build and getting this, quite frankly, mostly useless ability, I would just go 1 Cleric, 1 Sorcerer, rest Druid. But, because this is a deity build, I think this is necessary, but I can always just ponder the option in the video. Yeah, I feel like Wild Shape would only come up if like you're being attacked, you're on low HP, and then you just Wild Shape to like save yourself. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Beastie, but I think actually the level 9 spells here are quite nice. Conjure Elemental, Cloud Kill, Contagion, Insect Plague, Cone of Cold, all of these. I really like having access to those, actually. So, yeah, we already had a build for Jaheira. She's going to be a Gloomstalker Ranger Spores Druid. Kinda cool. Hey, CV, good to have you here. Again, a lot of new names today, actually. Kind of fun. Right, I'm thinking 1, 2, 9, personally. But 10 if you want to be a bit more wild shape focused. I like that. In fact, I'll just put it in my document as 9 or 10, 1 or 2, because I've done that before. It's just up to player preference. So, Wild Magic Sorcerer 1. Circle of Druid 9 or 10. And then Nature Cleric 1, 2. I find it really funny that the whole thing I said at the beginning of this stream was like, oh, because we're not doing selectable deities anymore, we don't actually need to get Cleric. And for both builds, we've got Cleric. For both Jergal and Silvanus, we've got Cleric in there, in some way. Yeah, there's always different ways you could do it, for sure. I mean, I've still got the to do the Druid video for the single class party build series, so you're going to see like fully classed builds there as well, and we can kind of pick those apart. I actually need to see what has won the vote so far for that. You actually do that because it sounds fun. Love the streams. Yeah, I'm glad you're enjoying them. So, I think we've got Silvanus down. I don't know if I'm going to have enough time to do one more. We're leaving the Dead 3 for their own dedicated stream. So I think the only ones that would be left to do would be Cyric and Gond, right? Let me double check. Okay, so it's Cyric, Gond, Kereska, I think, as well. Yeah. So there's only 3 left. Gotta look into a nature paladin build. Oh, Oath of Ancients and either nature cleric would probably be closer to the vibe, or Druid, obviously. The Church of Silvanus thing has intrigued me. Yeah, there's a lot of really interesting stuff here, actually. Learning about the lore and all that is always really fun. I guess, yeah, we're keen, because people are going to get mad at me if I don't at this point. Kereska is easy. Wild Sorcerer Dragonborn. Yeah, I feel like that one's not too hard, but... Chaotic Neutral, Arcana Domain. Draconic Goddess of Arcane Knowledge imbues many chromatic dragons with their magic, including their breath. Yeah. But I don't think I've got enough time to do another full deity build, unfortunately. Because, to be honest, it took a lot longer to do those two than I was expecting, actually. There was a lot of interesting discussion there. So yeah, I don't think I've got enough time today, because I still have a lot that I need to get done, so perhaps I will call it here, actually. But that was good. That's 2 more weeks of deity builds done. Maybe if I have time next... Because next week I want to get back to the Pokemon Trainer run, so maybe on Sunday we could do another deity build stream, but I'm not going to guarantee that. Sorry, that's chat's fault. No, it's not. A large problem that I have with these streams, actually, is my inability to be decisive. I tend to bounce back and forth between a lot of ideas and take a long time to settle on things. Wish there were any Dragonborn party members? Well, the Dark Urge technically counts. I mean, there's no dwarves or gnomes or anything at all represented. Like, as far as that's concerned, no Short Kings in BG3's party. I think, yeah. So I think for now, I'm quite happy with what we've been able to do. I'm probably going to call it here because, again, I do have some things I need to do. I need to wrap up this other thing that I've got to make for this convention that I'm going to be a part of. This, like, online convention. So I want to get that finished up. Because I don't know how many... I don't know if I've ever spoken to you guys about this, but, do any of you know me from before I did this YouTube channel? I don't suppose you do, because I did have a very small online presence long before this. I don't think any of you would, because it's a very, very different community that I used to be a part of, that I've been recently contacted about doing like an online convention about it and such like that. No, I don't think any people would at all. But basically, long story here, I'll even show you guys this on the stream because this is actually kind of interesting. It's a piece of my history you may not be aware of. I used to do RPG Maker games a long time ago. Your voice sounds very familiar. Well, I wasn't really an online presence, but I made this a long time ago. I don't know if anybody's here has watched this show. I think I made this, like, yeah, 7 years ago, so I was still a teenager at the time. And apparently, this was, like, one of the first ever, like, fan games for this show. And right now, there's going to be, like, an online convention called, like, Summer of Ruby. And they contacted me and asked me to get involved, so I'm doing, like, a short video. Well, not a short video, but I'm doing a video for their convention. Like, about how this game's development went. Yeah. Yeah, so this is what I did, like, a long time ago. It's bad, and it doesn't hold up to the standards that I hold for myself now, but yeah, I did make this game long time ago. But yeah, so that's what I'm doing at the moment, is I'm making a video for this online convention that's being run by the fans of the show. And it's actually quite a big thing, and I was quite honoured that they asked me to join in, so yeah, I've got to get that finished up, because the deadline for it is tomorrow. I may have left it to the last minute. Haven't heard of Ruby in a minute. Most people haven't. Ruby fans scare me. I used to be one, but I fell off of it pretty quickly after I made that game. But yeah, no, that's just an odd piece of history about me. I mean, that game, I think it's got over 70,000 downloads now. I don't know. Last time I checked, it was at 69,420, and that's not a joke. Actually, hang on. Let me go back to the page. I'm not even kidding. Last time I checked, it was at 69,420. Because we go down to, like, the news posts. Here it is. 1 year ago, the game has achieved 69,420 downloads. Oh, that's where Ishmari was contacting me from. Now you have to do a Ruby build? One day. One day. Maybe as an ode to my old days. But yeah, no. And I actually met some of my old friends from like this game. One of my oldest friends I met through this. That boy Smo, he's been on the channel before, I think. Dark history. He was a Ruby fan. When I was like 15. Yes. Although I more became a fan of it. Like, because obviously I like the action sequences, but the actual creator of that series, who had passed away actually not long before I started watching it, he was a massive inspiration to my creative outlook now. Monty Ohm. Hold on. This is a weird tangent, but I kind of want to show you guys this. Basically, Monty Ohm created Ruby and a couple of other things. Yeah, about 8 years ago he passed away. After like 2 seasons of the show aired. But he was such like an interesting creative that and like his actual story about how he went about creating things and like his approach to the things that he made was actually really inspiring to me when I was younger. It's what made me make that game in the first place, because I just wanted to. And ever since then, I've kind of, at least in small ways, kind of kept a little bit of that, like, of his, like, perspective of things into, like, how I do things now. Genuinely amazing individual who was taken way too soon. But I think he was a very, very, very interesting, very clever creator, for sure. Yeah, long time ago he passed. And I think Ruby itself is almost a decade old now. Yeah, weird little bit of hobo history and a little bit of insight into as to where a lot of my creative drive comes from, because he was a huge inspiration for me, and he still is today. So yeah, speaking of that, I am going to get this wrapped up and done, because I need to get that done, and then I also have a few other things, and I also just want to have a bit of a relax on a Saturday evening. I still have to play, like, Elden Ring and get, like, my character ready for the DLC and such. Been way too busy. Way too busy. Anyways, that is going to do it from me for tonight. Thank you all for coming. You grew up with Ruby Mine? Yeah. Big part of my life when I was younger. But yeah. Thank you for the stream and take time for yourself. Yeah, thank you guys. It's been a very, very busy week for me. Yeah. Hope you have a great morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are. Thank you all so much for being here. It was such a fun time. I've had a lot of fun today. So I'm, as always, forever grateful for all of you. I know I say that a lot, but genuinely, like, streams like this and being able to engage with the community is why I do what I do. So thank you all so much for coming, and I will see you all next time. Bye.